slow dancing.
Act like you got them skate. 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 Go live, I'm finna go live. 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 Go live, I'm finna go live.
What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Hey, welcome back to another great episode on Coach Hayes Football, WRE Live. This is where we watch, react, and evaluate live, all right, to one of our top talents in the nation. And we actually had a young man on here, and we're going to, do a little interview, talk about some recruiting, as well as break his film down so we can get into the mind of the player. Do me a real quick favor for all of those that are watching. If you are on Facebook, do me a favor, go ahead and start a watch party. Share this out to your family, friends, people that you maybe not even know. If you're in one of these Facebook groups, go ahead and pop it on in there. Let's get everybody on here. Let's celebrate these young men for doing great things. Also, if you're on YouTube, please make sure you go ahead and share out that link onto your favorite social media platforms. And so we can also get a lot of people on here as well, because we like to celebrate these young men for their accomplishments and the things that they are doing. So let me go ahead and jump straight on into this. We got a very special guest today, and I know we have missed a couple of Tuesdays of WRE Live because the season is now back in, so it's a little difficult to get some of these guys. They're practicing hard. They missed a lot of practices, so they, coaches grinding them real hard. So I definitely have to give a special shout out to this young man for coming on and kind of adjusting the schedule a little bit for us today, so we can definitely get into the mind of him. So without further ado, I'm going to bring him on. His name is Nolan Rucci. All right. He's from Lititz, say that correctly, Pennsylvania. Okay. And he is the top player in Pennsylvania, the 5th best offensive tackle in the country, and the 14th best player overall in the country. You got to be kidding me, man. So it's just been a blessing to have such a high talent on Coach Hayes Football platform. We got comments rolling in right now. Coach D.L. Clark says, let's get it in. I'm loving it. Also, my moment 10, Coach, you be hilarious when a big hit coming. Laugh out loud. Keep giving them kids knowledge, bro. Well, I appreciate you. Appreciate that. My moment. Guess what? That's my moment. It's my chance to shine a little bit and give back to those who gave to me. And so that's what it is. But let me go ahead and bring in this young man. He's going to, we're going to talk a little bit. So y'all give me my virtual claps for Mr. Nolan Rucci. How you doing?
Good, Coach. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. It's a pleasure to have you on, man. I kind of talked about you a little bit. 6'8", 295 pounds as a senior now in high school. That's huge, my man. Literally, that's huge, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's been, it's not always 295 pounds. Definitely some development in the weight room since freshman year, and definitely glad for my football program for allowing me to do that.
Definitely, man. So you, like I say, that's a big deal, man. When did you realize, and we're going to get into a couple of questions here and everything else, but when did you really realize, like football was like, I can do this?
Yeah, it's probably like eighth or ninth grade year. Really when I kind of shot up. I was always like one of the taller kids in school, but I think I grew from like 6'3" to like 6'7" in 8th grade year, and then like 6'8" freshman year. And so I was definitely a little bit of a beanstalk at that point. But I think right before the season, I was putting on a lot of weight, and I think right when the season started, and I was just kind of throwing kids around and getting a lot of pancake blocks. Like, hey, this is a lot of fun. I think this O-line thing's for me.
I heard that 6'7" guy walking around in the middle school hallways. I'm trying to tell you, can see all the way down the hallway at that point.
Oh, yeah.
Man. So that's great. Let me do this real quick. So for all my viewers out there, you can call in. We got a call in option now. We're going to go in and pop this here on the screen. All right. Please, you can call in with all your options. Only thing I ask is that no cursing. We are still dealing with young men here. You understand what I'm saying? As well as we don't want YouTube to kind of ban us and put flags on this program, because we do have young listeners as well. Also, when you call in, give us a moment. All right, be a little patient with us, because we may be in the middle of the conversation. We'll definitely get you in when there's a break in action. So just be a little patient with us, and we'll definitely get you in so you can give you a comment or question or whatever you like to say when it comes to this. So the phone lines are open right now. You're more than welcome to call in. But let me go ahead and get into this part, Nolan. We talked about height and everything, but I guess my question to you is, who is Nolan Rucci?
That's a good question. I think a lot of it is, I think what I've been looking for, in my recruitment process. I'm not just a football player. I'm really into, the academic piece of the schools I've been being recruited by, and I think that was a big thing. As I was kind of going through my process, is finding a place where I can excel not only on the football field but in the classroom too. And be passionate about what I'm studying and what my degree is in, because at the end of the day, the NFL average career is only 3 years, and so you got to love what you're doing after too.
I heard that. So you talked about academics and everything. What is it that you would like to study when you go to Wisconsin?
I'd like to get into the engineering program there.
All right, that's big time now.
Yeah.
That's big time right there. Okay, that's big, and I hope you have a specific field of engineering.
Yeah, aerospace, and you don't hear that a whole lot, which has kind of been a talking point for a lot of people, when you're talking to football recruits. But I've always been interested in that kind of stuff. I think just growing up watching the Science Channel, stuff like that. There was a lot of football on in my house, but there was a lot of how it's made, stuff like that on TV, and so. That's always been a passion of mine from an early age. And I think going through my process and just talking to all these schools and realizing it is like something you can do on top of a Division I football schedule, it was really cool to hear. And I'm excited to have the opportunity to do that.
No, definitely, man. And that's huge. That's big. Also, doing my research on you and everything, I know that you guys are a big football family, and I know that your father played in the NFL. Please correct me if I'm wrong. With 8 seasons. Yeah,
about 8 seasons with the New England Patriots the whole time, and he played at Penn State before that.
That's huge. Now, what position did he play?
So I think he came in. Actually, I think he came in on the defensive side at Penn State. I think maybe D tackle or something. He got moved around, putting on more weight and stuff. It ended up, I think he got drafted as a tackle and then got moved down to guard. So he's kind of been all over the place. But he started 7 seasons as a guard for the Pats, and so that was his spot. And I know he loved it. And now I get to be coached by him at the high school level. So it's awesome to have that kind of info.
Sure, man. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Now, I'm not going to hold it against your dad because I am a Miami Dolphin fan. And so, hey, man, I'm not going to hold it against him, man. We're not doing too hot right now, but that's a whole nother show. You know what I mean? So with all that being said, that's great, man. And so now as we talk, and we know COVID has, kind of been a damper, especially when it comes to football right now. And there were a lot of restrictions put on you guys. I know you guys are kind of back in season, and we were talking a little bit before the show. How did you keep or maintain or even get better during the COVID period, kind of when things were on restriction? What did you do?
Yeah, so I think when everything kind of first shut down, one of the fortunate things is having my older brother, who's a redshirt sophomore or redshirt freshman tight end up at Wisconsin. He actually was back for the spring. He was out on spring break, and then so instead of going back to campus, he just flew home and stayed a couple months with us. And luckily, we have since there was no gyms or anything like that open, we have a pretty nice weight room set up in our basement. We got a whole squat rack, turf, a bunch of weights and stuff like that. So we were really able to get after it, during that time. And it was nice having a lifting buddy who's 6'5", 250 and can throw around as much weight, if not more, than you. And so I think just having that that experience for a couple months, just to kind of pick his brain a little bit about how Wisconsin's been, his experiences up on campus, and just how much he loves the guys up there. And it was really cool just to have him back.
That's great. I'm popping a quick comment here. Elijah Mitchell. Elijah, what's going on? Longtime supporter, says science is the way to go, man. You're definitely right about that, because every day things are changing. I'm still old school. I still got a Galaxy 8, right? And they telling me they got a Galaxy 20 now. So, hey, these gray beards right here letting you know I'm old, man. So let me jump into the next section here of what we want to talk about. So now that you guys are in the season, you're getting ready to play. Or have you played a game yet?
Yeah, so we just had our first game last Friday, which we won 43-13. It was definitely it wasn't a pretty game, but we got the job done. And looking forward to cleanups and things week 2.
Got you. So let me ask you this: right prior to that game, or even from that game, what did you set for yourself as a goals for your season coming up? What do you want to accomplish? I guess, lack of a better term, your final ride, huh?
Yeah, I think as a team, we have a lot of pieces coming back, a lot of returning guys, who were a whole lot of impact on the field last year, and I think we went, 10-3, and had kind of had an early exit into the playoffs, or at least earlier than we wanted, and that we thought we could do. And so I think with the guys coming back, we had a whole lot of expectations and goals. Like I think undefeated for the regular season is one of those, that we're, looking at. And I think hopefully a run to the state championship, just with the amount of talent we have. We have another guy, Caleb Schmitz, who's a Cincinnati commit for DB. And so I think having him, our quarterback, Joey McCracken, we have a lot of pieces that, quite frankly, is, can be pretty dangerous on the field when you put them all together. So I think looking at that state championship run is our goal.
That's a great goal to have. Now, let me ask you, go to Warwick High School. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Now, has Warwick ever won a state championship?
No, it'd be the first time in football. In fact, 2 years ago was the first time we'd ever won a playoff game. And so
wow.
At the start of at least my time at Warwick High School, we've definitely turned a couple of things around, and which kind of started even before, about a season or two before I got there. I think they went from 2-8 to 8-2. And so I think my older brother's classes, they came through, and we've had just a whole lot of talent. And I think just riding on top of that is our goal this year.
I got you. Real quick, Marquette Sutton. What's up, Professional Sutton? What's going on with you? He says linemen are the real superstars, and that is the truth. Offensive linemen don't get the they don't really have the stats. The only stat they really have is holding. That's the only time you get the name call.
How many yards you got on penalties?
Two things. It's either holding or false start. And everybody, everybody's barking at you for false starts and this, that, and the other. Sometimes you just want to get off that chain and just knock that dude out in front of you, man. Yep. So I totally understand that. And people don't realize this. Offensive line is probably one of the best positions to play, because guess what? All you got to do is maul the guy in front of you. You don't have to worry about getting off the tackle, go chasing the guy down, running the ball. Man, you just sitting there mauling cats out. So that's what it's all about. Let me ask you this as we get into the next piece of this. Being ranked so high and everything, you have a lot of strengths to your game. What do you see are some of the strengths that you have to your game coming in this year that you bring?
I think, obviously for my size, I think coaches like how well I move, and my flexibility as well, and just my ability to get low. I don't think you see that on a whole lot of guys. My height is just being able to get under guys, especially at the high school level when you're going up against guys a lot smaller than you. And so I think just my ability to bend and get off the ball. I think that first step. I think a lot of coaches like that part of my game. There's a lot of things I have to work on, and I think that comes with being a high school football player. You're not going to be the perfect product going into college, and so there's a couple pieces in my game where I do want to develop, and so. I think that's my goal for this year. Just getting better, run blocking, pass blocking. I think just like I watching your video a little bit when you're analyzing me, I think you put it pretty well, which is that punch off the ball. Mm-hmm. And so that's definitely something I'm trying to get better at. And I think that comes to getting in the weight room too. And that definitely helped this off season, having so much time to lift and stuff like that. So that's something I'm looking forward to.
That's great. And you did mention that I did have a chance to actually WRE this young man. So you can definitely check that video out on the channel. Go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell as well, so you don't miss all the latest content that comes out on this channel. All right, that's my shameless plug right there, Nolan. So you talked about what part of your game you like to improve, but if you had to say one thing, right, what would be that one thing that you say, by the time I take my first steps on the campus at Wisconsin, I want to make sure I have it 90% intact?
Yeah, I think kind of what I was saying earlier about my pass blocking a little bit. I think technically just like the steps off the ball, maybe that kick set, and then kind of get some more moves. Because at the end of the day, a lot of the times it is a mind game with the guy you're going up against on defense, and so like having a couple like moves in your pocket, maybe like some jump sets, stuff like that, where you're kind of throwing some different things at them. and just kind of have a lot of tools in my playbook when I get to college.
I got you. No, and you're right. That you in those things you'll learn in time, definitely. But let me ask you this, because you talk about pass blocking, and what I've learned is, as I've been doing these shows and these videos, that a lot of this stuff is regional, right? So in Pennsylvania, are you guys a heavy run team or a heavy pass team, or just kind of 50-50, 60-40?
Yeah, honestly, I think we're pretty even on that regard. We have a great quarterback, and our receiving core is pretty pretty talented. And luckily, I have my father played in the NFL, is my O-line coach. So I've had a guy who's been able to teach me a lot of great technique as far as that side of the ball. And so we do have we do a lot of pass pro, run play, or run blocking, stuff like that. And we're kind of like a pro style offense. So yeah, I say it's about 50-50.
Okay, well, that's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. Now let's jump into this part about recruiting, right? Because I know it had to be straight nuts, right, for you. I know it had to be, I know the mailman was like, "Who is this guy?" You know what I mean? This dude is breaking my back, man. You know what I mean? I'm used to carrying, junk mail around. This dude's got every college in the country after him. So he's probably sitting in his mail truck reading like, "Hey, this guy, I wonder where this guy's going to go." So anyway, let me get into this part. So we talk about your recruiting experience, and sometimes we have a lot of young guys who watch this. What would be a word of advice for, let's just say, a 9th or 10th grade kid that is now getting some publicity, or he's starting to heat up a little bit in his recruiting game? What would be a word of advice you would give him as he enters this journey?
Yeah, I think getting your film out there is a huge piece of that. That is like one of the biggest parts of my game, and why I think I was recruited pretty heavily. Is just I got my film out there pretty well, and I think getting in contact with coaches and help with that, and kind of build some connections. And because maybe you won't be a perfect fit for a certain program, but a coach might see something in you and pass you on to another guy who might. And so I think just like getting that film out there, getting in contact with coaches, and starting to build those connections is a huge piece, starting out.
Right. Now, and I know these guys can tweet you and whatever, Instagram and DM and all of that stuff. Was your phone ringing off the hook, man?
I mean, it's nice now being committed. I can just kind of focus on my season and everything like that. But before, when I just kind of had my top 9 schools, it was, probably like 20, 30 text messages a day. And it was a lot of keeping up, especially over quarantine. They made like a rule where coaches like had an infinite amount of phone calls. So I knew it was just going to get crazy after that. And, I was getting like phone calls during school, stuff like that. And it was getting crazy at some points. But, yeah, and especially with the mail too. I know that mailman was probably head scratching sometimes when you open up that mailbox. It's like 30 letters from like Penn State and LSU and stuff like that, and just a bunch of different schools.
Definitely, man. You might have to get him a little gift card to Spot Envy or something, man. Go ahead and rub your back, man. I know he's killing it. And the thing is, you guys are so much more accessible now, right? And me and your dad's day, it literally was just the mail, maybe a phone call to the house. But because you guys have all the social media platforms, your cell phone, they can get a hold to you directly. They don't necessarily have to go through mom always or dad.
Yeah, it's crazy just how different, talking to him, how different his recruiting process was. Obviously, he went to Penn State, but I think coming out of high school, I think after his senior year, I think got like 5 offers, and was kind of between Penn State and I think Notre Dame. And that was like he got a couple offers in December, and then signed in February. So it was very short process, short and sweet, and it wasn't a whole lot of time to kind of draw it out, get to know coaches and stuff like that. And I think there is a whole lot of pluses and minuses of the recruitment process now. I think you do get to know a lot more about these programs. You get to meet a lot of the players, coaching staff, even like the academic staff and trainers and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But like back in the day, like they didn't have to worry about like all the stuff on social media. All like the stuff on like recruiting visits where they're like having you try out jerseys and like telling you you're going to the NFL. I mean, there's a whole lot of not smoke and mirrors, but
fluff.
At the end of the day, it's a business.
So it's a lot of fluff and a lot of I get it, man. But you know what? That's what it is. And I blame Oregon for that. Oregon started with all these uniforms,
Oh yeah,
man.
all the 30
And,
jerseys they have.
oh my gosh. All right. But yeah, definitely, man. Let me pop this in. Kawhi Mike says, what school or schools did he not expect to show serious interest? Good question.
Yeah. So I think, well, my recruitment process kind of started out, my first offer was Wisconsin. So it was already kind of started out with a big name school. And so I didn't know before then, I didn't know, what kind of level I'd be playing at. Obviously my older brother plays at Wisconsin, but I just didn't know if I was, that caliber of player. And where I would be, in 3 years from then. And so I think after getting that first offer, it was kind of like a big shock to say, hey, I can, I have the chance to play at this level. And so after that, they just kind of all started rolling in. Obviously, when you get those, the Clemsons, the Alabamas, some of the perennial national championship schools, those are, it's awesome. And it's definitely, you take it for granted sometimes, when you're on the phone with Coach O.
Right.
The Wednesday
hold that tiger.
Oh, Coach O. Yeah, no, it's awesome though. Just like looking back, how fortunate you are talking to all these amazing coaches.
Sure.
So, but yeah, now it's been awesome.
Yeah, sometimes it gets surreal, man. Like I'm on the phone with Nick Saban, I'm on the phone with Dabo Swinney. I'm actually talking to this guy. So yeah, I totally get it, man. And here's the thing, and I really hope you really cherish, and it sounds like you did, just cherish that experience because it is a one in a lifetime deal, and you worked your behind off to get there and to accomplish those things. And it feels good to get a pat on the back and be recognized for your efforts. So that's awesome. Now let me jump into this part. Right here. So you pretty much dropped your top 5 here 2 weeks ago, I think it was.
Yeah, so it was like probably 3 weeks ago, dropped the top 5 and then just committed from there.
Got you. So let me ask you this. Within that top 5, you had Clemson, Michigan, Notre Dame, Penn State, and Wisconsin. What was it about and I'm going to leave out Wisconsin because we know that you're committed there. So talk about those other 4 schools besides Wisconsin. What was it about those schools? Just briefly, what did you like about them to say, you know what, you guys made the top 5 cut?
Yeah, I think just the connection, obviously, with the coaching staff there. All those schools have been recruiting me for quite a long time. And so, after building those relationships and getting to know the staffs and stuff like that, a lot of those schools, have what I was looking for, especially, at the offensive line position. You look at, availability on the field, and, just like the kind of guys they develop, what kind of offense they've run, and, what you're looking at as far as, putting guys in the NFL too. That's obviously a factor.
Sure.
And so I think a lot of those schools also academically fit what I was looking for. Obviously, Michigan was a great, spot for aerospace engineering. They have a pretty prestigious program. Stanford was in my top 9, but it's a long way from home. And the football aspect maybe wasn't quite what I was looking for.
Gotcha.
So there was a lot of different factors that went into deciding that top list. But I think a lot of it was the relationships.
All right. Well, let me go ahead and because we know you committed to Wisconsin, but we know Penn State was there, right? So let's go and address the elephant in the room, right? So your dad goes to Penn State. He's an alumni. It's a legacy deal. They got a very good program. Coach Franklin is, top-notch coach and, Big Ten and all of that stuff. So what was it? Tell me this. Besides Wisconsin, who would have been 1 and 2?
Yeah, I'd say it'd be fair to say, 1 and 2 is probably Wisconsin, Penn State. And yeah, that was hard. Especially when you've had that relationship when your dad's gone through that program. Actually, my mom, she played field hockey too. That's where my parents met. And so I have a lot of, close relations to Penn State, and it was definitely a hard phone call to make, when it was narrowing it down.
I heard that. So the question of all questions then, why Wisconsin?
Yeah, I'm super excited with my decision. My older brother's up there. I think the huge thing for me was just my relationship with Coach Rudy, and just from a very early start to just I think going through with my older brother and his recruitment process. I got to see a lot of schools. I think I went on like 20 of his 21 visits that he took. And so very early on, I kind of got maybe like a little bit of an outside look on how the recruiting process went, and kind of got to see what I like and what I don't like in schools. And I think one experience that kind of stuck out to me was while we were on a visit at Wisconsin. I must have been going into ninth grade. Yeah. So I think it was eighth grade summer going into ninth grade year. We were on a visit to Wisconsin. I think we were just in like a position meeting with like the tight ends coach. And then Coach Rudy came and pulled me into the O-line room. And I think we talked just one-on-one for probably about 45 minutes, just me and him, just going over some film, talking about, like what I look like as a prospect. Obviously I didn't really have any film at that point, but I think he just looking at me, he could see, I was probably going to be a football player. And so it was really cool, just seeing a coach have that interest from early on, kind of getting that experience. So that was pretty cool. And I think just the way that Coach Rudy coaches his guys, obviously you can see the caliber of guys he puts in the NFL, just through his technique and coaching. The guys there are awesome. And I think a big part of it was hearing my older brother talk about his experience at Wisconsin when he was back from on quarantine. Just him telling stories of the relationships with his teammates, his coaches, and everything like that. I thought it was really cool just to hear how well they were getting along, and how much he loved it up there. And so that was really cool to hear.
That's pretty cool. That's what it's all about. But we're going to get definitely into your film right now. But Nolan, hold on 1 second. I got to pay a couple bills. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this on right quick. And we're going to pay these bills right quick, man. All right, here we go. Let me make sure I knock this out because we got to make sure we take care of it. All right. So this segment of Coach A's Football is sponsored by Clean Team Get Right. Fellas, after you've trained, played, and battled on the field of play, you must clean up, get showered, and then get right. Clean Team Get Right will have you right all day and night. Remember, being clean is everything. But that's what it's all about. You can definitely check those guys out. There's a great fragrance. If you have smell-o-vision, Coach Hayes has on some right now. You can smell it, boy. It's awesome. So check those guys out at getrightfragrance.com as well as Get Right Fragrance on Instagram. And they do a great job with that stuff, with shipping and all of that. So it's actually perfect. We're going to bring this guy in right now. We're going to jump straight on into his film. We're going to check him out right now and see what he is all about. So we want to get into, like I said, the mind of the player. Phone lines are closed right now. We'll do that. We'll open them back up once we finish. But we just want to talk about this. So have your questions or your comments ready for that part, or you can always drop them in the comment section. Okay, here we go, man. We're going to jump this thing off. Big old dude, 6'8", 295, man. Let's go, Nolan. Let's go. Awesome. I love this, man. Look, I can watch film all day. I don't even have to watch television.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even have television, man. I just got a Fire Stick yesterday, literally from Amazon.
It's all about Netflix.
Let's go. I love the way you finish him off, man. And you talked about this earlier about pad level. I see you on. Let's go.
Yeah,
great setup on the screen.
QB draw plays where I'm just heading out and crushing linebackers. I love that part of it.
Got you. See you on a little defense here.
Oh, yeah.
Do you like playing defense?
So get a little film on defense too.
Heard that. Oh, you got your field goal block, baby.
Yeah.
Now, hold on. This is what I want to pause, and I want to talk about this piece right here. We're going to talk about this play. But this is something that on your film, and for those that didn't get a chance to see it, please go watch it. And you mentioned this earlier. For you to be a 6'8" guy, just shy of 300 pounds, it might be a hamburger short of 300 pounds. For you to have pad level like this, I was highly impressed because, and I think I mentioned this on the film, it shows a great job. For you, probably the tallest guy on the football field, but when you get on the line, you can't tell where you are because your pad level is so low, and I think that's great. And you talked about flexibility, and for that to happen, I think you do a great job with that. How important is pad level?
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, we run a lot of outside zone. So here in this, I think we're running like outside zone left. And so like big part of it is just like stick to your boards. And just predicating on that low pad level and getting your hands in. And so that's always been a huge focus for us on our offensive line. It definitely has helped me out in my game, especially staying low and getting under guys.
Gotcha, man. And I thought that was super. I was, like I said, highly impressed with that because that's something that's very hard to do and teach as well. So I think I even said this. Shout out to your O-line coach who happens to be your dad. So great job there, Dad. Look at this. Boom. Look at that. That's crazy right there. Let's go. And you still can't tell. Look at this. Kill is. Hey, I got a guy called Po Little Timmy, man. Little Timmy don't have a shot out there, Nolan. You're killing these cats, man. I love to drive your feet. When you get into that drive phase, it's excellent. It's perfect.
Yeah, that's definitely one thing. Like when I get in that drive phase, is make sure I'm staying low because I think, I think when I'm like later in my steps, I tend to get a little bit high just driving. So that is something I do have to work on, is make sure I'm maintaining that pad level throughout that block. And just making sure I'm not getting too high.
Perfect, man. And again, look at this here. This is what I'm talking about. All these dudes on the line, and you can't even tell where you are until you put the marker on you. So great job. Talk me about this play a little bit. I see there's a little down block right here. I don't know if you remember this exact play. Do you remember it?
If you play it, I might be able to tell you what it is.
All right, let's go. I'm going to play it first. Walk me through it.
Yeah, I think it was just a little combo block with my guard. Obviously, I kind of ran the guy over on the first hit. So once I kind of pushed that D tackle down over the guard, my next priority is getting a second level, and so I'm looking for that backer, flowing over, and that's I think the guy that I picked up afterwards.
Gotcha. Great job right here. So here, I believe this is you. Yeah, this is you here at tackle. All right, my man is in his sprinter stance. I think you about to maul him out. I don't know. We're gonna check this out and see. Not the double team, coach. Come on, Coach Rucci. Do we need a double team right here, coach?
Oh yeah, a little high five at the end there. Caught that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh my gosh. Hey, I'm gonna give you a hint. I'm gonna give you a hint, man. When you make it to the league, you need to get sponsored by Allstate, man, because it's straight mayhem out here, man. Look at that. That's critical. Let me go back, man. And again, we talk about this part, right? And again, I know I keep belaboring it. I keep going over this point, but the pad level is second to none, brother. All right. So now that you get on this, you saw the play. Talk us through this play a little bit right here. What you got going on?
Yeah, I think he's another like outside zone left. So, this guy's in my lane. So, he's my responsibility. I think that tight end's probably going out on that walk that backer. So I know I'm, one-on-one here. So I just got to, keep driving this kid. And, ideally you want to keep your shoulders square to the line. So your running back has, two sides to cut off of. Most of the time it's not perfect, but here I do a pretty good job of staying square and just driving this kid downfield.
Gotcha. Look at this. Number 8 don't have a chance. Oh, get some. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Great job. And it's a blessing to have an end zone cut as an offensive lineman. Look at this.
Yeah, for sure. Yes. I mean, you get that sideline cut, it's a little hard to see that footwork.
You know what's so crazy? I think when I was looking at this film, I'm going to be honest with you. When I saw this, I missed the marker that you put on there. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was you back here mauling somebody out. You know what I mean? I just saw some bodies flying. Okay. I didn't realize that was you. I thought you were back here seeing somebody was getting mauled out. I'm like, oh, no.
Now we got some other finishers on our team.
Good job. Good job. Good motor, man. Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah, so this is one of those plays where, maybe the whistle's blown. Maybe just didn't hear it, and so you just kind of keep going.
I heard that. Ain't nothing wrong with it, baby. Double team, you and 77. You guys good friends, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, year we hold a whole lot of double teams.
Oh my God, that's crazy right there. You had to walk over him, did you?
Yeah.
Now, here's what I brought this up in the film, and I want to say this to you, and I know you talked about it. When I talked about hands, right? And we talking about punching and things. So when you got this double team, apparently this is a combo chip block. You chip him so your man can get his hips around, and I believe you're going to climb up here to number 57. And I believe in that video we talked about giving him a good punch in the hip or wherever, your coach tells you to place. But I always know the hip is the weakest part of the body, believe it or not. So here's where I was talking about hand placement versus a good fire off with that with your hand. I know we acknowledge that. See, I was just a place.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, that's really a place and not like that punch that you're really looking for. And so that is something I do have to work on. And that's something I've definitely improved at this year. Is just I think also that backside hand. That's definitely a difficult thing. As an offensive lineman is when you have a guy, maybe he's not on your board, but if you're helping out your backside buddy, giving that backside push, that is a huge piece of it because you don't want him stunting across his face and getting making a play. And so, that is something that was somewhat of a weakness last year. And so I'm working on it.
That's great, man. And I'm gonna say this to you, Nolan. I appreciate you being even coachable on that, even accepting it, because a lot of guys, you're talking about coach, so thank you, man. And that's telling me right now as a coach that you're gonna go a long way in this game because you are willing to receive information. So my hat's off to you, man.
Appreciate it.
Give him one. Let's go. Oh, 57. Let's go, man.
Yeah, I like my defensive highlights here too, just because I think it helps display a little bit of athleticism.
Very much so. Very much so.
You can't do that too much, so.
No, and I'm gonna go back to this because this is something too you don't see a lot in high school, right? So when you start getting stunts, a lot of guys they coach ball protection, that is big on big or man on man, however you want to term it. But I believe they ran a stunt here, right? Is there something? Let me ask you a question, kind of a pre-snap read. Do you do anything from a pre-snap read standpoint when your D-line comes out to you?
Yeah, I think sometimes they do, especially if it depends game to game. But if you're studying film, and sometimes a guy will have a tell, whether he's stunting inside, like maybe he's leaning a little bit more, maybe he has a different foot up or something like that. And you can kind of tell too if his buddy over there to the right is a little bit closer in, so you might tell they're running a twist of some sorts. And our O-line coach obviously does a great job of teaching us those sort of things and how to pass those off. And so I think we did a pretty good job here.
Did an excellent job, and I'm gonna give you a hint to one more tell. As you play this game, and I always told my players, from the very first play of the game, you have to start recording tendencies in your mind, right?
Yeah.
So you looked at the film prior to on your scouting, but then as this game goes on from play 1, play 2, play 3, and I don't know this because it's a highlight film, but I don't know if this guy normally lines up this tight. So if he normally lines up in a wide 9 or even in a true 5, whatever the case may be, now all of a sudden he's changed something. That means something is going to change, right? Yeah. Because people do have tendencies and people do what they're comfortable with. So those are also tells. So as you get into these games, start having your mental log of what's going on. Boom, what are they doing? And like you said, the hand placement, the foot may be up. All those things are different tells, man. And like I said, your mind is already there, so you're already going to do great things with that. And I kind of saw it based on how tight he was to you.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you the best part I liked about it. Right there, you didn't turn your shoulders. Right, a lot of guys when they see him make that stunt, they turn their shoulders, and then they can't get back to the stunt. You understand what I'm saying? They can't. So you did a great job of a lateral step, right? Passed him off to 61, and then came back and grabbed 40. So great job by you right there. Great job. Get some. Come on, 6'6".
Yeah, that's right.
Let's go 6'6". That's crazy right there. Poor Timmy. Y'all whooping this cat behind out here. Oh, y'all want to make that man a mathlete, man. Coach, I can't do this.
Yeah, me and my boys, 77, Hunter Dabbler, a whole lot of combo blocks last year, just killing kids. So shout out to him for all those.
Great job, man. Great job. We're going to go through a couple more here. I'm going to see if you recognize this next play. Let me get a real clean shot of it. So I want people to understand where you're coming from. And then we're going to go and finish this up. All right. Where are you? You're on defense this time.
Yeah, defense action.
I got you. I see you driving them hips, man. I see you.
Oh, yeah.
All right, perfect. This is what I wanted to fall into. Your pass block. You talked about this earlier. Okay. Not bad. So let me ask you just a quick question. So you have a threat in your face. You have an immediate threat in your face.
Yeah.
And you let him go. Is that part of? And again, if there's anything with your protection, you have to say, Coach, that's in the playbook. Next question. I get it. So
yeah, so like what we'll do here, if we have an outside backer walked up, we'll do like a fan call. And so what we usually do is we have like different calls where we're going to slide a protection to. So we'll call like the mic back, and then we'll slide a protection away. And so in this case, we're sliding to our left, which means that guard's coming out for that D end, and then I'm going out for that outside backer.
Got you. So 2 for 2, and then the center picks up the nose right here.
Exactly. Yeah.
Perfect, man. We're going to play that out. Great job, man. Great job. Let's see. Great job coming down the line. I see. Well, listen, man, that's an excellent job right there. And like I said, I did want people to get into the mind of you as a player. You understand what I'm saying? So you did an excellent job with that, man. And I see nothing but great things. The things that I feel are minor, those are easy fixes, not a big deal at all. And you'll learn those. And again, it comes in time and everything else, definitely, man. So we're going to open up phone lines back up, but I do want to ask you a couple of quick questions. And I go to a thing. I got a quick little game I like to do with guys, and let's see if they're quick on their toes. All right. I call it 5 questions, 1 answer. All right. So first thing pops in your mind, I want you to say it. Got it?
All right, ready.
He cracked his knuckles. Let me hear this guy's a real competitor. Trust me. Hey, Wisconsin, you got something. Here we go. Ready? Question number 1. Who is your biggest supporter?
My mom.
Mom. I love it. Because dad be on the gridiron giving it to you.
He's
I'm loving it. Dad on the gridiron giving it to you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. Also, let me see here. Okay. Here go one. Manheim Township.
Ooh.
Oh, you trying to be politically correct? Well, I know it's a rivalry. I need something a little better than rivalry.
All right. Well, the thing is, we don't get to play him this year, so I wasn't thinking about Manheim Township. That's not even in my repertoire.
I love it. So you're not even thinking about him. I heard that, man. I heard that. Research team over there, they clapping it up because they got it right, man. We've jacked a couple of these up, man, because sometimes people have a basketball rivalry is different from a football rivalry, so whatever. Yeah. All right, here it is. What football coach, since you've been playing football, what football coach has inspired you the most?
I'd say my dad. Just having him going up, I think through midgets. He started out in midgets being my O-line coach, and then all the way up through high school too. So, he's definitely taught me a whole lot along the way.
Got you. And not knowing, I didn't realize we didn't know that your dad was your O-line coach. So I'm gonna add a second piece to this.
Okay.
What's the best advice your dad has given you when it comes to the football field?
Man, I think one of the things that's improved my game so much is preparation. You can do a lot of things in the weight room. You can be one of the most physical guys out there. But I think the biggest thing for me is just going over film the week before, and really looking at who I'm going up against, studying, preparing. Like maybe like we were talking about earlier, looking at their tells, what they may be doing on stunts, stuff like that, different moves. Really preparing for the game ahead, and that's definitely been a huge part of improving my game. Got you.
Perfect. Well, listen, we got a caller calling in. We're going to take a little break in action. Caller, talk to us. What's your name? Where are you calling from? And what's your question or comment for Nolan?
Yeah, I'll start with where I'm calling from because I'm calling from Madison, Wisconsin, actually, crazy enough as it is. You know?
All right.
It's weird because I actually share the same last name as Nolan because my name's Hayden. And I'm calling just to see when he's coming up next.
All right. So I'm taking this as his brother, correct?
Yeah, sounds like it.
It is.
All right, man. Hey, I'm glad you called in, man. I really appreciate it, man. You got your brother coming with you on campus up there to Madison. Are you excited about it?
Oh, I'm so excited. I was vying for him to come up with me the whole time. So I'm glad it's actually happening.
I heard that. Now I'm going to ask you a hard question. You ready, Hayden?
Yep, I'm ready.
Who's the better football player? I know y'all go through that all the time.
Man, well, if it wasn't for me, Nolan would be half as nasty as he is. So I think you got to give me a little credit. But being 6'9", 300 is pretty good as it is. So that's a tough one, but we'll see when we're here.
I heard that, man. I just like to pose a little question. Easy way out. You could have said Dad was the best one, and you would have been out of that safe, man. But Hayden, man,
that is true.
I really appreciate you calling. I'm definitely gonna watch you guys. I was just telling Nolan, and I was telling your father prior to this that the young man I coached in high school, Joe Milton, who just got the starting quarterback job in Michigan. I coached him, so I'll definitely be seeing you guys on the field in the near future. I'll be taking a couple flights up and checking you guys out, man.
Perfect. That sounds good.
All right, man. Hey, don't be hitting on my man too hard either, man, you guys.
No, I won't.
All right. Thanks a lot, man, for calling in.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a good one.
All righty. All right, man. So that's good, man. You got your brother calling in. He ready to have you going. That's awesome, man. So let me go ahead and get back in.
Excited person for the decision, that's for sure.
That's pretty cool, man. That's good. You know, if you can do that, and I've actually had an opportunity to have some brothers that can go and, you know, they play from little league to middle school, high school, and even on to college, man. They said that was one of the best experiences. Actually, you know, it brought their relationship even tighter, believe it or not, you know. So let me go on to the next question. The next question is head coach of Wisconsin, Paul Chryst.
Laid back. That's my biggest word for him. Awesome. Yeah, coach is awesome. Yeah, I think just you could probably sit down with him, have a conversation with him for anything other than football for probably close to an hour, and he'd shoot it with you. He's just a laid back, awesome dude.
Pretty cool. And here's it's the last one. So you've been to quite a few Wisconsin games, I would take it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which tradition is the better one to you? The Bucky push-ups after a touchdown, or the jump around between the third and fourth quarter?
Jump around all day, yeah, no question. Yeah, there's
jump around.
Other tradition in college football like that, and I think getting to experience that until you've experienced that in person, you're missing out. That's all I'm saying.
I got you. And here's I'm gonna add a bonus one, man. On this game day, coach is giving you the win one for the Gipper speech. You know, you got your I guess you got your headphones on. What are you listening to? What are the fans want to know what you're listening to?
Well, if I'm just listening with the team, definitely some Kodak Black or maybe some Bobby Shmurda. Okay, but if it's just me and my headphones, I'm probably going some Metallica or Black Sabbath or some heavy metal, something like that.
I heard that. And you play like some heavy metal too, man. That's perfect. And then my last one is, man, what's your favorite YouTube channel out there, man?
Man, this is pretty nice right here. Getting to have my own video up and stuff like that. I love watching football or football channels, stuff like that. I'll go in overtime, just watch some highlights, stuff like that. I love just sitting down and watching stuff like that.
Hold on, so maybe I ain't hear you right. What's your number one YouTube channel out there?
It's right up on the screen. WRE Live.
That's Hayes. Right, baby. Coach Hayes football. Woo! I thought I was gonna have to cancel the check I sent you, Man, you had me nervous. Nah, I'm just teasing. But you say I know a lot of guys like to watch overtime because they get to see a lot of highlights and things, and that is good, man. That is good because you do get to see a lot of that stuff, man. Well, like I said, Nolan, I'm not gonna hold you. It's been a pleasure to have you on. It really has, man. I know, not to think, but I know that you're gonna do great things. I can tell you got your head on your shoulders right. You got a great support system in your family. Your brother calls in. He's excited about you, man. So that's huge, and that's perfect. So I wish you nothing but the best. Is there anything before we get out of here that you would like to say or in conclusion?
No, I mean, just wanted to appreciate you having me on. I know it's really cool doing these kinds of things, and just kind of getting to sit down, chat some ball, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's go Badgers.
I heard that. And where can people find you if they want to follow you?
Yeah, Twitter and Instagram, both Nolan Rucci, under case, no caps, and those are my Twitter handles, and
Awesome.
Follow the latest posts.
Always. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and jump into mine. If you like to follow me on Instagram or Facebook, that is at Coach Hayes Football. On Twitter, it is at Coach Hayes FB. As you know, I do a video every day, Monday through Friday, on the top talent in the nation, and it is called WRE, which is Watch, React, and Evaluate. And again, I do guys like Nolan every day. I break them down, give them the pros and cons of their game. And it's all constructive criticism, just things that I see that they do extremely well and some things I think maybe they can work on from my perspective. So please, if you're watching this, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and notification bell, pass it on out to all of your friends. We're really trying to grow this program and do some big things, especially for these young men. And with all that being said, I'm trying to think if I got anything else or any last second comments. I don't think I do. And so I appreciate it. I know you got some homework and some virtual work or whatever you got to do and get going to. So with all that being said, man, I'm out of here, man.
Appreciate it.
Thanks,
See you later.
Always.